Hello and welcome to another episode of eScoot Talks. So today I'm finally out with my Nami Burn E. So it was about the time for me to take it out for a spin and share some of my thoughts with you regarding this e-scooter, give you some of the feedback. And then we're gonna actually go and do a little bit of off-roading to check it out. So I replaced tires with off-road tires. For this we're in Phoenix Park in Dublin, and I actually always wanted to check, are there any nice off-road routes here, to give them a try. We're gonna explore that today. What do I like about this scooter? To be honest, absolutely everything. And that's the reason why I bought it. So it was the first scooter that had a real carbon fiber stem. It just looks like it's built like a tank. And that was one of the main reasons. On top of that, big battery for a long range, plenty of power. So it was just like, it absolutely looked spot on. But unfortunately, there were those problems where Namis are actually snapping here. My Nami is part of that series that actually is snapping, part of those first versions of Namis. Luckily, it still didn't snap so far. But I'm not going crazy with it, and I hope it's gonna snap, not gonna snap today, because carrying it around is gonna be a little bit hard with this injured finger. Okay, so as I said, everything about this scooter is almost brilliant. A bit of a downside are those brakes. Like, those brakes get overheated, they get bent, and on this Nami, they are rubbing. I have to admit, I never put too much even effort into working on it, because I'm not riding it. Like, the scooter is almost 2 years old and it has a little bit over 1,000 kilometers. Let me actually just check it out. Yeah, 1,499, 1,500 kilometers. So really not much mileage on it. One thing I did modify a battery, because originally that battery wasn't done really well, I'll be dead honest. So I put a smart BMS that also works as immobilizer. On a phone I can connect via Bluetooth, and I can switch off input, charging, and output, discharging. When I switch that off, basically if someone would steal the scooter, he wouldn't be able to charge the scooter or even to turn it on. It would look like the scooter is faulty. But regarding safety, there is not too much safety on this scooter, but there are a couple of ways that you can actually protect your Nami if you think it might get stolen. One of the things, okay, and it's really simple and easy, valve tool, deflate tires. Nobody's gonna go too far on the flat tires, but Nami with stock CST tires, you can still ride it on a flat. But there is one other thing that you can do, and probably thieves won't have tools with them to sort that out. So those here wires are actually brake sensors. So we just you can actually screw them all the way in, because when you actually screw, like, they have threads there so you can adjust the brake sensors. If you tighten them all the way in, basically your scooter is going to be braking constantly. So even if you don't have a smart BMS, for example, that can be one of the ways to actually prevent it being stolen, because if someone turns on the scooter, hits the throttle, the scooter is going to be stuck in place. But also, if you bring your scooter to someone to do your brakes who doesn't know too much about Namis, and he sees that, oh, that's loose, let's tighten those sensors, your scooter is not going to be riding. But how you can actually figure out that that's the issue? Because your brake light is going to be constantly on, because sensor is going to think that you're holding your brake. Okay, now, one cool thing that I actually like on this scooter is steering damper. And I actually saw something recently. Tevron released a new scooter. I can't remember exactly which model is it. And it comes with 2 steering dampers. And actually, I might actually do a reaction video on it, because it was looking like like, why? I just don't understand. Like, is it so badly designed that one steering damper is not enough, so it needs two steering dampers, or it was done just to look cool? But like, you know, it's completely complete overkill, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, regarding Nami, overall design is brilliant. Like, this roll cage frame looks rock solid. Suspension is brilliant. This folding mechanism, I like the idea, but I'll be honest, threads seems that they're not too nice, because it's pretty hard to tighten this. So it's not the best option for someone who wants to fold it and unfold it all the time. Luckily, I don't need to fold it all the time. Stock throttle is an absolute nightmare, I'll be completely honest. So I replaced my throttle. This one looks much nicer, and I actually have an idea to try a couple of more other throttles. This is just my test of the smart lock. That's really not smart at all, to be honest. I'm not going to go into those details. And indicators come on the right hand side, and these power settings come on the left hand side. So, like, you know, in order to turn on indicator, you need to release the throttle, turn on indicator, where I kind of prefer, like, you know, basically a motorbike system. Your right hand is for acceleration, your left hand is for indicating, for, you know, well, both are for braking and all those things. This just makes much more sense. Of course, you can swap it around yourself, but the cables then end up being a little bit too tight. So I think Nami engineers should have do their homework a little bit better and do it better from the start. Now we're going to get to those problems. So Namis are actually snapping here or here on those two places. What they did with the upgraded version, so they released now this, you know, steel part. The problem is that this is still aluminum. Okay, it is much stronger, but if I was designing a scooter, you know, between front wheel and the stem, everything has to be steel. Where chain breaks at its weakest point. So you improve this, it might snap here. Like, I don't think that it's gonna snap here necessarily, because this is not getting so much force. But when you hit the throttle, this is trying to bend. So I personally, like, I never heard of new version snapping. One thing that I absolutely don't understand in this situation, why Nami never did a recall. Because of losing money? Well, I'm pretty sure that they lost much more customers because of those problems, and much more money. Because, like, is doing an official recall bad? No, it's not. Like, you know, let's take, for example, I don't know, Tesco, Dunnes, or whatever. Do they do recalls on some of the products that they're selling? Yes, they do. Are people avoiding those shops because of that? No, it just looks like more responsible approach, and builds up trust. So my personal opinion, it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's actually the only thing I don't like about this scooter. It's not that I don't like a scooter. I like a scooter. I love a scooter. I don't like the way customers are being treated. Okay, that's the worst part of this scooter. Anyways, let's finish here. Let's hit the road, go for a spin. Well, let's hit the off-road. Check, can we get any nice shots here, and test how this Nami performs off-road. Now, is Nami good for off-roading? No, I didn't find it enjoyable so far, especially with the mud and everything, because the mud's gonna cause quite of a resistance, so that's not gonna work very well. If wheels are maybe a bit bigger, then that would probably be a better option. And it's a little bit too high. I can't believe that I'm saying this. But yeah, if you get stuck in the mud, you lose the balance. You need to jump off. It's quite high, so it would be better maybe if the deck was a little bit lower. Like this roll cage frame looks absolutely cool and great, but it also makes scooter pretty high from the ground. So, and on top of that, there are small wheels, and with a smooth acceleration, there's just not enough torque to dig you out of that mud. I will try, a couple of more options, because when you're doing off-roading, you don't want to have, crazy speed anyways. So I might actually engage with speed limiter, but put the torque to the maximum, or play a little bit with P settings. Maybe actually I can restrict, leave maximum power but restrict the speed in P settings, so that way even if I get to an obstacle or mud or whatever, there's still going to be enough power to try and dig a scooter out of the mud without losing a balance. Yeah, I forgot, guys, to mention that I'm actually riding Nami with a speed limiter that's supposed to restrict it to 25 kilometers per hour. But it's actually not. It's restricting it at 33 kilometers per hour. And I have to admit that this speed restriction is quite jerky. Like, it's honestly quite uncomfortable with these controllers. I was expecting much smoother speed restriction, but it's basically done in a way that when it realizes that it's reaching 34 kilometers, then it cuts out and engage a little bit of a region braking, and then as soon as it drops to 33, then region braking cuts off. It's just, I have to admit, quite uncomfortable ride, and I much more prefer restricting speed actually in P settings instead of using these, because yeah, this is really not nice and not comfortable ride at all. Okay, so unfortunately, guys, I didn't manage to do too much of off-roading today. I'll probably need to explore a park first and then organize a route and do it for you to check, all the capabilities of this scooter. As I said, if it doesn't snap, hopefully not. I think this is kind of gonna be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and had at least a little bit of a fun. I had a little bit. I was expecting much more. If you have any actually video ideas or questions regarding Nami or any scooters overall, leave them in the comments down below. As usual, if you want to support me, you can, of course, buy me a coffee. But you can also support me with just a couple of clicks, and that's by liking, sharing, if you didn't, maybe subscribing, and overall interacting with videos and channel in any way. It helps YouTube algorithm pick up these videos, show them to more people that might like them. Helps growth. I'm actually waiting for those metrics to increase a little bit. I have a couple of surprises for you guys. So yeah, till next time, that's gonna be all for this episode. Please stay safe out there and respect other road users. Bye bye.